It literally just came on my phone, driver on the way, and I'm like, well, I've already plumb and had it.
Where are you?
What?
It's fine. We're good. We're live. Hi guys. Babe might not be staying. She might be going. But we are live. But you know how it goes.
Haven't you been? You've been live for ages, haven't you?
Yeah, only for the starting
Oh,
scene.
you've been starting soon.
Yeah, because we have all the chaos that is now. Because usually we'll just be like fucking about and what is this? What is that? What do I do? And what is going? I need to get a drink, and Maim's gone to do something. Me and you just be talking absolute shite. So it's good to get all that
fair, we were,
in the
actually,
start
yeah.
of the podcast because it's something just a bit more natural and flowing, like my fucking hair.
Yeah.
Made me dizzy. Don't drink bourbon and shake your head, guys.
Oh dear. You got natural flowing hair.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I could feel you loosen as I did that.
Yeah. In your tenderloins.
Right, we're on the podcast channel, babe.
Oh.
Let's keep it PG-18.
PG-18?
Let me just do a tweet as well. What we got?
Oh dear.
Twitter. I'm going to tag you. Operation High Jump, Hollow Earth, Admiral Richard E Byrd. This is going to be a doozy. It's going to be very... It's going to be interesting. It's going to be great. But Beeb's eating too much and she's going to give birth to a Chinese chicken ball, so...
Oh, I actually might.
Just a... chicken comes out.
Oh, plumbing it so much. I basically ordered 2 meals.
Yeah.
And then I'll bet like a meal and a half. And I'm going to save the rest of the chicken balls for tomorrow after work.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so fat. All right, let me get this up.
It's only temporary fat. Till tomorrow morning, then you'll be alright.
Yeah, it won't last long.
To need poop. Dying Light 2 was good.
It actually is, isn't it?
Yeah,
like it's decent so far.
Yeah, and IGN did a trailer for it. I don't know if you saw it.
What, Accolades one?
Yeah, which is basically saying everyone's saying 10 out of 10, great from start to finish, blah blah blah.
Well, yeah, like all the reviews were coming up being like,
yeah, it's weird,
combat and things and combat and the free run's all right, but the actual story's really bad. And all of a sudden they're all like, oh, actually no, the story isn't too bad. And I'm like, well, make up your minds. And as I said, we played 3 hours of it, and it seemed alright so far.
Legit that. Well, I think it's fine. We can just sit on that and just do it whenever, like, which is good. We'll have plenty to do this year. Maybe, hopefully, if nothing else, like if it doesn't just all flop.
Yeah, I'll probably stream some Halo campaign tomorrow night.
My little Halo. Beeb. Oh, that's Beebco. Don't show people that one. That just gets taken straight out of context. There is literally a reason for everything.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Ignore it.
Oh dear.
Okay, we're up and running. There.
To be fair, going to Beebco, the first thing you'll see is a sword. Not that. No, like an actual sword. Not your peen sword, like an actual sword.
Okay. and I didn't say a word for that whole time.
Yeah, but you looked
the nervousness just took over and said, not that sort of sword.
Yeah, but I saw you looking.
Hey! I've got that coat in green. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where's your hair gone?
It's still there, look.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Baby. Yep. Good stuff. We are live, Mayhem. We are up. We are running. Can you put the sound on the stream, babe, and just see if it's all good?
Yeah.
Thanking you very much.
Yep, fine.
Mate's
Mayhem,
fine.
Mayhem, I can't hear
Can't hear yet, mate.
you.
That's okay. We'll get it sorted.
There you
Welcome
go.
to the
There you
Gaming
go.
Podcast.
Yeah. You
Guys,
there.
I'm just going through tons of paper, right? Tons of paper here. And since we said that we're going to Admiral Byrd,
I bet you've been balls deep in this.
I have, yes. I have. I the amount of videos on BitChute, and there's not that many on YouTube, but on BitChute, on Odyssey, on Rumble, I watched. It's unprecedented, to be honest.
So I've joined you a little bit there because I've been watching the Periscope films and things like that, watching a bit on Richard E Byrd and all this sort of stuff. Thing is, Beeb, are you staying for the podcast?
Oh, I know. I better leave.
Are you leaving?
Well, yeah, I don't know anything about any of this, so.
And you've had too much Chinese. But thanks for making the first 10 minutes interesting.
I'll yeah, you're welcome. We only mentioned Peen once.
Are you about for games after or no?
Potentially, actually, yeah.
All right, I'll give you a message when we're done then at 9.
But yeah,
Atkin said he's gone to his mates. He's coming back, so we might be able to get a horror thing in or something. I know Ghost Hunter's been updated, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll be watching you.
Okay, thanks, Beeb.
I'll watch you, but yeah, because I don't know enough about it. Okay. I'll leave it to the professionals.
Right. You go.
Speak to you in a bit.
Have a poo. All right, in a bit, Beeb.
Why are you leaving two of us? Just right.
It's just us, Beeb. Right. Right, let me just sort out my screen quick. We need to get rid of Beeb. Ooh, not everyone. Get rid of Beeb. Wish it was that easy. We got Mayhem. Let's have us in the top middle. We're important today.
Yeah, it's gonna be more like conversation and a debate, I think, than anything else. What do you think?
Yeah, so like I said, I've not actually wrote too much down. I've only done page and a half of what I want to say. I've made my own video that I've put together of various other videos. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes, but it's more like a trailer to what we're going to be talking about today because I've cut some bits off on where it is. And every time I've spoke to you about, have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done his diary? Yep. You done UFOs? Yep. Have you done the mission? Yep. I was like, right, not really much for me to do, but I have done it before, and we've seen videos, we've seen, we've done everything before. So I've got my comments up though. We'll save that for maybe at the end. We can go through the comments.
Yeah, we can run through it. Yeah,
it's just me and you today. No roll, no Beeb. But if you guys don't know, this hit off last time on my channel, and we're doing it again. This is round 2, so we've done this before. But very interesting stuff, and we'll go through the comments, and you can see what people have been saying about it and all this stuff. So,
yep, like, share, subscribe, hate, whatever.
Yeah, it's all up for debate, and we're live now as well. So, literally, if you have anything on the podcasts, you can come in on any podcast every Friday, 8:00 on the dot. We will be live. Every second Friday, every 2 weeks. And then come in and literally you can question us about it, and if our memory allows it and we remember what we did 2 weeks ago, we'll
and if you wait for me, just they'll be around 8:15, 8:30. So
yeah, 12 minutes past, not bad.
Sorry for a bit later, but listen, as we mentioned in the last in the episode that we did on Size Channel,
mm-hmm.
and it's available on audio as well, so you can check it out. And I think I'm going to re-upload that audio as well again.
Yeah, if you give me the link to that, I will link this in the video. So this will be up as well. Tomorrow there'll be the full uncut. Well, it'll be a bit more cut, but it won't be the bullshit at the start and at the end. It'll be the main podcast will be uploaded tomorrow.
The audio is unedited on the on Spreaker, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, on Amazon, even in India.
It's doing good in India.
Guys in India are our third biggest listeners. So. Hats off to you guys.
India are good. Yeah.
Big time. If you like it, just hit the like, subscribe. We don't need any money from you. Just listen and say that you like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much. But we mentioned I'm just going to hit the big one, right? We mentioned in the last episode that, Admiral Byrd took an aircraft carrier, 12 ships, a submarine, and 20 aircrafts. And between 1946 and 1947, so he left in.
He did two journeys, didn't he? Yeah, so he did an early one.
he was the famous explorer to try to explore Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
So for some reason, I'd like to remember the date 1947 because I'll be coming back to that date big every so often. So, and there was 5,000 people on board, and the mission was to map Antarctica. The mission was to map Antarctica, right? It wasn't, but
Little America 4.
yeah, Little America, the the Schwabland.
Yeah.
that
So
stuff.
I was watching. If you look up Periscope Films as well, that's another YouTube channel. They literally have got raw footage from 1930s and the later ones as well of these guys digging out tunnels, and they had all the huskies, and they dug down and they made pretty much underground, just straight out of snow, and then they just put like a wooden box into the wall, which is where they kept the huskies, and they had ships and they had all sorts going on. It was pretty good. I've got maybe a short introduction and then a little video, and then we can probably crack into the main of it.
I have at the
A
moment
lot
50 pages. 50 pages of. I'm not going to go through everything because, well, I think we're going to be visiting that every 6 months. I think.
Yeah,
because
I'm
this
happy
is
with
a
that.
big subject, and the amount of stuff we can touch on, and the amount of conspiracy theories, the amount of theories around the whole situation. What's
Is your wife
happening
still
and
there?
we can explore every avenue, and we can do it in so many episodes. So if you're interested, do
You
come
have
back and
smashed
let
that
us
out.
know.
Hell yeah, literally do that.
Because this could be amazing. This could lead to something very big. And there were comments on our podcast saying that we might be going into the wrong avenue, into basically cul-de-sac, and say no, that's it. Like you can't go anywhere else. But well, we'll see. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is our job to finally fucking sort it out. Like
It's everyone's job. That's it. We've got to keep it
Yeah.
going. We've got to get it shared.
Let's
We've got
go,
to get
Si.
it good.
Hit it.
Right, so guys, welcome to Gaming Pit Podcast. This is number 3. This is 003 of the new channel. We did about 40 on the others. I'll link it below. But on May 29th, 2021, we did a podcast about Operation HIGHJUMP, Admiral Byrd, Secret Civilizations, Hollow Earth Theory. I'm going to explain a little bit on each one and then show you guys a video I've put together for you. We'll start with Operation HIGHJUMP and Admiral Byrd. And yeah, so Operation HIGHJUMP commenced 26th of August 1946 and ended in late February 1947, like the date you said. Task Force 68 included 47,000 men, 13 ships, 33 aircraft. Its primary mission was to establish an Antarctic research base, Little America 4. Admiral Byrd himself, full name is Richard Evelyn Byrd Jr., was an American naval officer and explorer. He was the recipient of the Medal of Honor, which is the highest honor for valor given in the United States. He was born on the 25th of October, 1888, giving you some of the time period there. 1888, it's like legit pirates were still about.
Yeah, and the time of exploration.
Oh yeah. There was all sorts go out. People were discovering stuff. Wars were going on in Americas. But yeah, so now we have Admiral Byrd and his fleet on a mission. Why is this on a conspiracy podcast? Because that just sounds pretty normal so far.
Dum.
We've got Operation HIGHJUMP seems pretty normal. There's a guy off to make a research base. We've got huskies, we've got dogs, we've got snow. Basically, he was the first guy to achieve flying over the South Pole as well. The first aircraft over the South Pole was Richard Byrd there. So he's avid explorer. So enter the hollow Earth theory and what Admiral E Byrd may have discovered. The hollow Earth theory.
Si, sorry to cut you in.
You good?
But he said at the press conference right before he left, he says, "My expedition is military in nature. No further details were given on that stuff." So this is what he said. And the main thing they were trying to say it's the mapping expedition.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, the amount of aircraft and the amount of you don't bring that many people onto.
I wonder why this hasn't been declassified yet, like everything else. I think there's 10 years minimum, but if enough people ask for it, I think it's 10,000 people ask for it. They will actually declassify things as long as it's over however many years
old. That's the question, isn't it?
But why hasn't it? Because his diary was so full of stuff that was literally just banned from being seen. So why isn't any of this in the light officially? Everything you look up on it, no matter what website or wherever it's on, it's just to do with the exploration. It's an Antarctic research base. It's dogs, ships, planes. He flew over the South Pole. He's done interviews.
Yeah.
Where's all the other stuff? Where's all the good stuff that we've heard about?
Maybe the question we should have to ask, what followed his operation?
Yeah, good point.
You know, and then we have to start with 1947. But back to you.
Back to me. So, Hollow Earth theory is simple enough. The Earth is hollow, basically what it says. And in there is a whole other world, a bit like to the Journey Centre, to the Earth business. There's a lot of theories on it. It shows you in the video, actually, it will explain a little bit more on that by official scientists and things like that. I think they say in there, we know more about the moon than we do. All right, this isn't even talking about the sea level and things like that. This is the Earth in general. We've literally discovered hardly anything about it. There is speculation of Operation High Jump just being a cover. Apparently, he's battled with aliens and UFOs. He has a secret diary that explains everything he saw about the secret civilization. He was swore to secrecy for years about all this. Anyway, we'll get into it here and there, but I've got a little visual presentation first.
His son died in the mysteries.
Yeah. So Richard Byrd himself, I think he lived until 57. 1957
he died,
or
he
59
died during the Operation Deep Freeze in 1957.
Yeah. So he lived. So obviously, no one was trying to like fucking assassinate him. At least.
Well, 69 years old, so he
right.
died.
Let me just get this up and I'll share the screen. Yeah.
I have to play stream, don't I? Let's watch the stream.
Right, have you got that, ma'am?
I do. Let's go.
Richard E. Byrd, first to blaze an air route to the North Pole,
Crank it up.
prepares for a similar flight over the bottom of the Earth.
I think it's important for us to explore that area, important for the human race, to find out what's there. That is why when this crisis is over, we expect to go back.
August 26th, 1946.
Can you crank it up a bit, Dave?
Yep.
Operation HIGHJUMP departs.
That's as high as that would go, ma'am.
Apparently, they actually fought a battle in Antarctica, probably between remnants of the Third Reich and perhaps extraterrestrials as well. There were stories of craft coming up out of the water and attacking them.
And you notice the shape of the craft.
1947, that said a new enemy had been discovered that could fly from pole to pole in an instant.
This is the interesting bit.
2018, more than 70 years after Byrd's astounding claim, a satellite image captured what appeared to be a condensed water trail from an aircraft.
Did you hear about this?
Trail that could only have been produced
A chemtrail.
traveling at incredibly high speeds.
Extended the entire length of the Earth longitudinally from the North Pole to the South Pole, which is 12,000 miles.
We have just scratched the surface of the Earth. We drilled down like 8 miles.
Remember what Admiral Byrd said. They can travel
out of 4,000
at a normal speed
basically
from pole to pole.
The Earth, we went down 8. That's nothing.
We have more than 70 active space programs right now. We can tell you more about the surface of the moon than we can the surface underneath our own oceans.
Since we have not actually drilled down far enough to confirm these findings, could it be that we may be wrong about the composition of our own Earth? Some ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and suggest that according to our earliest mythologies, an other Earth might not be found in the heavens, but deep within our own planet.
Alright, so that was basically a teaser trailer. That was loud enough through mine. I don't know if it was for you, Mayhem, but I can turn it up in the edit.
I'll crack it up there. There's no worries.
Yeah. So, wow. The thing that got me 70 years later, a plane trail showed up of north to south, south to North Pole. And the speed that must have been going, someone said Mach 10 plus. Mach 10 is 70,000 miles an hour. We have nothing that does
Like
that.
No.
So where the hell did that come from? And does it confirm Admiral Byrd's readings?
It probably does, like, because there's so many theories around that expedition.
Yeah.
Because we have his diary, right? In this diary, he says he's meeting someone there. Okay,
Yeah.
he confirms that these entities or these people or whoever he came across, they have capabilities of traveling from one side of the world to the other side of the world, or going even around the world in enormous speeds. So, but as you mentioned, and I mentioned, it's 1947 when he's there.
Yep.
Okay, I like to keep that in your head, right? So, what else happens in 1947? What time? What year is Roswell?
Oh, not sure. We're 2 years after World War II, though.
It's 2 months before. It's 2 months before Operation High Jump.
Oh yeah. What? 1947?
1947. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just before that, 1942, Battle of Los Angeles. Remember that one?
Yes, I do actually.
So it's 1942, Battle of Los Angeles, right?
Yep.
1947, 2 months before the Operation High Jump, we have
So, Battle of Los Angeles. If you don't know, it's not the film with the aliens and
No,
I think The
which is
Rock
really
was
good
in
film.
it, but it's still a good film. It's all filmed on
Yeah.
like a handheld. Was the big monstrous spaceship with all the lights on it, all the floodlights up it. Is that famous picture? But
Yeah, there was a 12 or 13 floodlights coming up
to
in
it,
the air.
it's so this massive craft, and no one owned up to whose craft it was.
Yeah,
and everyone thought it was Nazi first.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look up that image, that is incredible, actually.
So there is a timeline, right? Which we can discuss, right? So we have 19. So we have to start from 1938 when Nazis are getting more interest in Antarctica. Did you know that I've been studied that for a while? And did you know that in the 1938, right, the Nazis sent a large team of explorers, including scientists, military units, and building crews, and warships and submarines to Queen Maud Land? The Queen Maud Land is the same area that Operation High Jump was taking place, and then we have no. The funny thing is, if you can open the map of Antarctica, there is an old video of the main general having a briefing with Admiral Byrd, and what happens? It's staged. It looks staged, but what they're doing there, it's probably done for the back in the day filming. So what happens here? They actually circling around Antarctica like there's a plan of attack. So they're telling you they're gonna put the man on the ground here. They're gonna circle around with the aircrafts to map the area, and then they're gonna land over there. So it's like they're circling the enemy. So that's the weird question. But it's all started, it's like 4 years. In 1938, they're having the increased interest in Antarctica, and we know in Antarctica there's the amount of stuff it's there that can supply the modern world, yet we cannot access it. That's the question, right? So while mapping the area, they discovered a vast network of underground warm water rivers and caves. Nazis themselves in 1938. One of those caves extended down as far as 20 to 30 miles and contained a large geothermal lake. So the temperature, there was the delta between, the change of temperature is significant, especially to the land that we can see in the modern pictures, the wall of ice for flat earthers, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So the cave was explored and construction teams were sent in to build a city-sized base dubbed Base 211, or New Berlin, that hosted the SS. So the Thule Society, the Serpent Cult, and the various Nazi occultists. The occultism in Nazi is one of the episodes we're probably planning for 2024, man. Because there's so
It'd be
much
good
stuff.
to do that actually, because the amount of artifacts, and Hitler was big on trying to get all of the powerful artifacts because he thought he held some sort of power.
Yeah, and the spear that
Yep.
allegedly ended Jesus' life, you know.
Yep.
So that's what I was trying to do. Uh, Now, it's allegedly, right? So what we're reading here, at some point the Germans either discovered abandoned alien technology or make contact with extraterrestrial explorers. Okay, we don't know. Shit, the amount of shit the Germans did, you know, and they have plans for the flying saucers themselves. You can
Yeah,
see them online,
even
you know.
Area 51's even tried it themselves. They've tried to build them.
Yeah, so
Area
they have
5.
plans. They have plans. You know, you can see the schematics for the stuff. Uh, you know, that were doing that shit. So we know the Nazis had the interest in it, right? And one of the theories is the Nazis, the 4 years before even the war ended, they already thought about what's going to happen. What's going to happen if the war actually, what way war is going to end? Because if they lose, they're fucked, basically. Okay, if they lose, they're fucked. They have to run away. You know, just remember, this is the group Nazis and German people, we have the German people under influence of Nazis themselves.
Yep.
Okay. So, as I always stated, Germany lost the war, Nazis didn't.
Yeah.
So,
there's tons
what
of
happens there?
theories and films about that itself.
Oh, yeah.
Hitler and the Nazis went to live in wherever, Argentina. Apparently, there's a whole German-speaking town in Mexico where they could have escaped to. Fuck, there's a film on the Dark Side of the Moon where all the Nazis have set up a
Iron
colonized
Sky.
Iron Sky. Oh my god, what a
Yeah.
crazy stuff! But it's all
It's funny, but yeah, when you look at it, it's like, shit. What if?
yeah. What? Yeah, they could just
You
moved somewhere
never
else and done
know.
something.
You never know, like,
Yeah, could be anywhere.
But you remember that when we were doing the Area 51 episode, I claimed that that our civilization start growing really, really fast from that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, the inventions were better and better. You know the speed of inventing CPUs after,
Oh,
and the touch
yeah, it's like
screens and
late
stuff like
80s, and
that.
then
It's
just
just
kind
gonna
of just
go.
went
It just boomed.
boom. Yeah,
So one of the theories is that's what happened after. So if it's leaning towards alien technology, we don't know.
it's like
Probably,
Operation Paperclip. As soon as we won the war, British American spies were all over the docks, recruiting these Nazi scientists. People that have committed horrible war crimes, but they did what was necessary to advance their technology so much that we was recruiting them, and Nazi scientists actually help America get to the moon. If they got to the moon.
Well, we can say
we are on a podcast about conspiracies.
Yeah, the focus is there, and it's very possible. We know they did at some stage.
Yeah,
but did they do it the first time?
Did it when they said?
That's the big question. Yeah. I'm not going to say no, they didn't do it, but it's very possible that the first one could have been a hoax.
Yeah, and NASA could be fake. NASA could be put there to distribute the illusion of space. Even there's some mad things out there.
Oh yeah, the hanging people on the circus things,
Yeah, like Thunderbirds. Yeah.
That's just funny.
Yeah, man.
It's all fucked up, But just a little break here. We're not going to get any dick jokes because Beep is not here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So
save that for next time.
Unfortunately, she left us. But listen, so it's we know there's so many countries claiming, just before 1947, so many countries claiming the rights to Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, I think that the first countries to sign treaty were 12 countries. I can't name them at all at the moment, but it's you can see it on the on the screen.
Yeah.
There was a ratifications for the new countries to basically for the access to Antarctica. The funny thing I'll mention later on, but
just because of the resources, that's originally why Admiral Byrd went out there, because of rich resources under the snow and oil, etc.
Yeah. The fact checkers actually did at the story of the Nazis. Okay. Well, I'm kind of I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe fact checkers. I'd rather see them myself. What happened.
Yeah.
So the fact checker said that from December 1938 to April 1939, the Germans really did carry out the expeditions. But instead of the large-scale scientific and military operation, they consisted of only one ship to Schwabenland, which they named. It's the area just around the Queen Mode land there.
Okay.
So it's very possible. The one thing I've been thinking about is that they you know the Operation Paperclip, just they went in and they knew what Germans were at, and basically what happens, there were different platoons sent over, like modern time SWAT and the special operation forces.
Yep.
They were sent in, and then what happened there is basically they were going after Germans and their inventions to stop them. The V2s were developed,
Yep.
and what if they were carrying the nuclear bomb?
That's
So there we go.
There
Man
is,
in high
there
castle.
is actually a declassified all about that. It's called the V3 rocket. The rocket after the V2 was apparently going to be the V3 was going to be insane. But there was a raid on a castle that the Nazis had, and it put their nuclear research back for about 5 or 6 months, which made Operation Manhattan a success, and the Americans managed to build them before. It was called, is it Heavy Water or something? Have you heard of that before? Nazis.
Yes, I've heard. I can't remember the name of the operation, but I know
something water
Yes.
by the Nazis. Yeah, and they was actually trying to after it got raided and destroyed. They were smuggling it out on a boat. Heavy water or something water anyway. But that got destroyed as well, and it set the Nazis back for months on their nuclear program, which is a good thing, really. But that was the most successful operation in history.
The espionage, the espionage was the main part of winning the war, because what happened there, they already had the data on the Operation Paperclip, and they knew who to grab.
Yep.
And you knew who to grab before the Russians did. So, well, we have to remember that the Werner von Braun was the higher ranking officer in SS before he became one of the main people in the NASA program.
Damn.
So
want to fuck with them.
No, but we know that comes 1945. Everybody thinks the Hitler is dead, but there's a large fleet leaving waters of the of Germany. Sorry, Baltic Sea, and going over towards Argentina, and then we know that there are 2 submarines leaving Argentina.
Yep, that's actually
in that stage going towards Antarctica.
Yeah, there's an aircraft.
Going toward the yeah, and then we know that we don't hear anything after, and then we have Admiral Byrd going on to so-called map expedition.
Yep.
So that's how it starts.
All in the same time frame, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but the time frame is very interesting, right? So we had the Roswell, but way before we had Nazis' interest in Antarctica, and then we have 1947 Operation HIGHJUMP, and when he claims basically that this is just a military operation, and everybody thinks that's a mapping expedition. Now, in 1947, we have the Maury Island incident, if you ever heard of it. So we have the flying saucers, like aircrafts crashing. Okay, and then we have people in the black suits showing up, destroying the evidence. The Maury Island incident is the Maury Island incident is very interesting. So please dig into it, and we can cover it up, no problem. Then we have Idaho sightings as well, and everybody describes the same kind of flying saucers, the same flying saucers that Admiral Byrd described, and the same kind of flying saucer that was recovered in Roswell.
Was his diary ever seen or received or uncovered? What happened to his diary with all this stuff in it? And this
I don't know. I have some printout here. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a flight log, Base Camp Arctic. So the 19th of February, 1947.
Mm-hmm.
So 600 hours. All preparations are complete for our flight northward, and we are airborne with full fuel tanks at 610 hours. So 10 past 6. Okay. Sorry, I'm not in military, so I'm not going to read it out the way they do it. So 20 past 6, fuel mixture on starboard engine seems to reach. Adjustment made and proud witness are running smoothly. And then he goes to radio checks with base cap at 7:30. Then 20 to 8, he notes slight oil leak and starboard engine oil pressure indicator seems normal. Then at 8 o'clock, he's noticed a slight turbulence noted from easterly direction of altitude of 2,321 feet. Correction to 1,700 feet. No further turbulence. Bad tail, wind increases, slight adjustments in throttle control. So that's typical weather in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Winds, there's no trees there. We don't know anything about anything else. Now, he goes through the turbulences again. He does the radio checks. And what happens here, it's 9:10, vast ice and snow below. No correlations of yellowish nature and dispersed in linear pattern. Altering course for a better examination of this color pattern below. Note reddish and purple color also. Circle this area 2 full turns and return to an assignment compass here heading. Position check made again to base camp and relay information concerning colorations in the ice and snow below. 9:10. Both magnetic and gyro compasses beginning to gyrate and wobble. We are unable to hold our heading by instrumentation. Take bearing with some compass, yet all seems well. The controls are seemingly slow to respond and have sluggish quality, but there is no indication of icing. Where we're going
Is that quite normal behaviour for old like apparatus like that in those conditions? Like we're talking Antarctica and
very possible. It's very possible. I've never been there, so I can't tell you what way compass is. We heading towards the tip of the earth.
Because a lot of it is magnetic, isn't it?
You know, where you're looking, like, you know.
Yeah.
We're actually going to the bottom, you know.
But yeah, compasses and dials and things like that usually go on the fix.
Yeah, it's very possible. 9:15, sorry. And the distance is what appears to be mountains. 9:49. 29 minutes elapsed from the time of first sighting of the mountains. It's no illusion, they're mountains and consist of small range that I have never seen before. 9:55. Altitude changed to 2,900 feet, encountering strong turbulence again. So the weather, plays part. We are crossing over the small mountain range and still proceeding northward as best as we can to be ascertained. Beyond the mountain range is what we appears to be a valley with a small river or stream running through the center portion. It's now freezing. Maybe he sees cracks in the ice. Very possible. We should be over ice and snow. There should be no green valley below. He sees color green, right? So that's very unusual. He goes deep and deep and deep. To the port side are great forests growing in the mountain slopes. Our navigation instruments are still spin. The gyroscope is oscillating back and forth. At 10 o'clock, 5 minutes past 10 to be precise, I alter attitude to 1,400 feet and execute a sharp left turn to better examine the valley below. It is green with either moss or a type of tight-knit grass. The light here seems different. I cannot see the sun anymore. We make another left turn and we spot what seems to be a large animal of some kind below us. It appears to be an elephant.
What?
Exclamation mark. No, 3 exclamation marks. It looks more like a mammoth. This is incredible. Yet there it is. Decrease altitude to 10 to 1,000 feet and take binoculars to better examine the animal. This is confirmed. It is definitely a mammoth-like animal. Report this to the base camp.
Well, I found a mammoth.
10:30, yeah?
That's a bit more
Encountering more
believable.
rolling greens hill now. Yeah, he keeps going and going. And 10:30, he says, encountering more rolling green hills now. And the external temperature indicator reads 74 degrees Fahrenheit. 74 degrees Fahrenheit is 22 Celsius.
Okay. English summer.
So guys, 22 Celsius, right?
Yeah.
There's exclamation mark. Continuing our heading now. Navigation instrument seems normal now. I am puzzled over their actions. Attempt to contact base camp. Radio is now functioning. 11:30. Countryside below is more level than normal. If I might use the word. Ahead we spot what seems to be a city. Guys, I don't know what I read. This is from his diary,
But
right?
this is above ground, yeah?
Yeah. This is impossible.
So he's doing flybys in the plane.
Yeah. He's still, yeah, this is his log. Aircraft seems light and oddly buoyant. The controls refuse to respond. My God, of our port and starboard wings are a strange type of aircraft. They are closing rapidly alongside. They are disc-shaped and had radiant quality to them. So there we go, disc-shaped. What lands in Roswell? Disc-shaped. What apparently happens in Battle of Los Angeles is disc-shaped. They are close enough now to see the markings on them. It's a type of swastika. This is fantastic. Where we are, what has happened? I talk to controls again. They will not respond. We are caught in an invisible vice grip of some type. Our radio crackles, that's 5 minutes after. Our radio crackles and a voice comes through in English with what perhaps is a slight Nordic or German accent. The message is, I don't know if I have to read it in the German accent. It says, "Welcome, Admiral, to our domain. We shall land you in exactly 7 minutes. Relax, Admiral. You're in good hands. I know the engines of our plane have stopped running. The aircraft is under some strange control, and now it's turning itself." So basically, it's like a little dangerous. Or you have your computer on board, and you click the yoke, and that's it. You're going in.
This is the most Irish German I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. The controls are useless. So 20 minutes to 12, another radio message received. We begin to land in process now. And in the moment the plane shudders slightly, it begins to descend as to caught in some great unseen elevator.
Okay.
I don't know, some kind of force bringing him down, the gravity force and stuff.
Yeah.
Downward motion is negligible, and we touch down with only a slight jolt. So he's landing, he lands with absolutely no shaking or anything like that. So at 11:15, I am making a hasty last entry in the flight log. Several men are approaching on foot toward our aircraft. They're all tall with blonde hair.
I'm not tall.
Aryans.
So you want on there,
In the distance, a large shimmering city pulsating with rainbow hues of color. I do not know what is going to happen now, but I see no signs of weapons on those approaching. I hear no voice. Apologies. I think I've had too much to drink. I hear now a voice ordering me by name to open the cargo door. I comply and lock. And then he goes, he just writes what happens there. So I think we covered that in the last episode, didn't we? But
yeah.
This is his flight log. So he goes in there on the expeditions, but I'm kind of thinking like, have they known? Did they know actually what's the story gonna be?
Well, the Russians got involved. We've got a piece here. So same subject. Admiral Byrd's statements were published in the Chilean press. His statements, but never publicly confirmed by the U.S. authorities.
Yes, yes, I've heard about the Chilean Gazette. Yeah.
Indeed, Byrd did not speak again to the press about Operation HIGHJUMP, leaving it for researchers to speculate for decades over what really happened and why Byrd was silenced. After the Soviet collapse in 1991, KGB released previously classified files. So this is what I was talking about.
I love KGB for that.
Why is it not declassified? And here we go. So the KGB released previously classified files that cast light on the mysterious Byrd-led naval expedition to Antarctica. A 2006 Russian documentary, recently translated, made public for the first time, a 1947 secret Soviet intelligence report commissioned by Joseph Stalin of Task 68's mission to Antarctica. The intelligence report, gathered from Soviet spies embedded in the US, revealed that US Navy had sent the military expedition to find and destroy a hidden Nazi base. On the way, they encountered a mysterious UFO force that attacked the military expedition, destroying several ships and a significant number of planes. Indeed, Operation HIGHJUMP had suffered many casualties, as stated in initial press reports from Chile. While there is a possibility the reports resulted from the US disinformation fed to a known Soviet mole, the more likely explanation is that the report exposes the first known historical incident involving a battle between US naval forces and an unknown UFO force stationed near Antarctica. Pretty big stuff. Obviously, the Russians get involved.
I think the Russians were the only ones that were actually trying to tell us the truth.
Because they're sat on the side. The Americans are in Antarctica. There's UFOs and shit flying about. And Russians are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Right. But then they've got first-hand knowledge from moles planted in the US, because obviously what are we talking? The collapse in 1991, but the information's from 1947. Obviously, the Task Force 68. So the Russia already had moles implanted, ready to go, which is crazy. And then they're releasing it later and translating it. Them damn Russians, man. But then obviously you've got the Cold War a mere decade after. Okay.
So apparently we're looking at the pictures from Operation HIGHJUMP, right?
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
going to try to bring them all here, right? So as you can see, there's a little thing there in the sky. Okay, right?
You know what? I
Which
just
is
dismissed
kinda
that
weird.
as the moon or something. I won't even... That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we have...
Was this taken on a Samsung?
No, he wasn't taking on the Samsung. That's the whole fucking thing, right?
So 0.01 megapixel.
I'm going to share another one.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, no, keep going. It's fine. Okay.
So what we can see here is the it's
Sheet of ice. You've got naval ships, and then what appears to be something that's maybe jumped out of the water. Is that?
So it's a USS Henderson, right?
Yeah.
And apparently it's the artillery barrage.
No.
Onto the land of Antarctica.
I think...
Right? Apparently, right? So now there's another one, right?
I don't
Sorry,
think
I can't
the
do
barrage
it in one
matches
go.
the size of the ships there.
Yes, but we can see the
Looks
really,
like Godzilla's
really
jumped
weird
out of
kind
the
of
sea.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. really, you know, really weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
But then you can see this, right? I'm just going to change the screens.
(1947) unidentified object. Noted on the photo is Task Force 68 and Project Tsushima Boy. Tsushima
So this is something
Boy.
either going into the water or getting out of the water.
So a
right?
ball-shaped object. There's a lot of light. Beeb on a yoga ball. Yeah, that's weird to look at, man.
And then we have something like this.
Wow, is that real? That hasn't got the
This
dates
is
and
this,
stuff on it
yeah,
like the
this
others.
this is actually the zoom, right, of the screenshot I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
I love this new thing that you can stream and you can jump between things.
It helps.
It does.
Okay. Are these mayhem-made arrows?
No.
Oh, I thought you'd sat on there and you go.
So we have this is the Admiral Byrd flotilla, right? So this is actually taken. So as you can see, if you look up at the sky whenever the dogfight is taking place,
so
you have those little pockets of you know.
Is that
of
flak?
The ammunition of the stuff. So
yeah, it's flak
here,
cannons, isn't it? Yeah. AA. Yeah.
So we can see here we have something, and then this.
Yeah, weather balloon, mate.
Yeah, it is weather balloon. Yeah, it's like the same like a Roswell. Like you
yeah,
put
exactly.
your tinfoil hat on. But what happens here is he does claim that they have aircrafts. They can go from one pole to the other in enormous speeds, faster than we can. Right? Okay, so we've seen it all, right?
South Pole to North Pole, 70,000 miles an hour plus.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna jump out now. If there is a WikiLeaks,
miles maybe.
There is WikiLeaks. There is a WikiLeaks website, right? So I dig into it and basically try to. I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures there. I'm going to show you 2 pictures there, if you don't mind. I try to basically just go in and see if there's any Antarctica photos, right, that you can find on WikiLeaks, and see if there's anything that can catch your eye. So there's the only one that catches my eye is this one. It's really weird, and you might notice that as well. So for all our audio listeners, you can find that on our video. It looks like there's a man-made hole with the light coming out of it.
Oh,
you
wow.
can see it.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
basically from WikiLeaks. Now we do know that the WikiLeaks could be, run by CIA anyway, just to piss us off, but we never know. You never know.
We'll know.
And
We'll
for
know
the
in
last one,
10 years when it's declassified.
For the last one, there's a short video I want to share with you. Apologies. See, I'm trying to set it up and it doesn't work.
It's fine. I can edit all this. It'll make it look smooth, man.
Yeah, but our version on the
we'll look way smarter.
Audience. Yeah, everybody's gonna be like, "What the fuckers are doing? Like, what are you doing, man?"
Like, there's apologies. No. I've had a bit too much to drink.
We try
yeah.
Right. So I'm going to share it now. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You can see it.
Yeah. 1 minute 33. It is up.
If you could check the forward payload bay floodlights are off, and I'll get you an answer here in just a minute.
Something appears there on the bottom of the screen.
I can confirm all of the floods are off.
All the floodlights are off.
And we can confirm that the illuminators are off as well.
Can you see the bottom of the screen?
Yeah.
And it's actually appearing up.
Yeah.
On the WikiLeaks, it's over Antarctica, right? So on the WikiLeaks, it says it's called Star Cruiser.
Okay.
So this is all I can see.
Yeah. So they've got lights and illuminators off, but you can there's still light emitting from the surface.
So they're not over anything, basically. There's no light from the surface. This is actually passing between them and the Earth. And our planet.
What's this, infrared or something? White hot.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is now infrared now. So something's moving up there. Is this connected to Admiral Byrd? We don't know, but when I was researching that, I actually came across this kind of thing.
Maybe, and it might be connected to the thing I showed you with the 70 years later North to South Pole. Yeah.
Oh, we don't know.
Antarctica, man, like the guy said, we've only dug 8 miles into the Earth. There's 12 miles of Earth. We've only done no. I forgot what the thing was. But yeah, there's so much to discover.
There's loads of stuff. Now, let me jump into a timeline. Okay, so as we know, in 1947 is that big year that everything happens.
Oh, the Earth goes down 20. Wow. Basically, the Earth is a big world. Blah blah blah. Kilometers than they would have just gone before. The short is just over 40,000 kilometers, or 24,901 miles. Round the core, 1,802 miles to the core, and we dug down 8 before the drill got too hot.
So it's just like we're just go to your nose. And
remember that crazy Russian experiment? They just had the massive drill, and they just went until it was just melting the drill bit. But 24 whatever thousand more after that. That's crazy, man.
There was an attempt in Hollywood to see what's going on in the core. Remember the movie called The Core?
Apparently, it's
They had that little kind of, like a worm thingy that went down drilling, apparently was made out of the some kind of vibranium, kind of Marvel
Oh yeah,
Avengers stuff.
Captain America Shield
Yeah.
stuff.
So yeah, but just to go onto a timeline, guys, it's so we have 1942 Battle of Los Angeles, we have 1947 all those sightings, we have Roswell, we have Operation High Jump, we have the Moore Island incidents, we have Idaho sittings. Then Admiral Byrd comes back in a deep freeze operation in 1957. He dies. The operation ends in 1958, and NASA is created on the 29th of July 1958. Right?
Wink-a-dink.
Antarctica Treaty is signed. The first treaty is up for sign on the December 1958.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 1959. Apologies. So before he died, Admiral Byrd kept saying that he was insisting on America to have the defense base based in Antarctica.
Okay.
And he kept mentioning that whatever the other thing he came across, that we have to keep our bases up and we have to get stronger to defend.
I think Antarctica is the first largest ice sheet in the world, and then you've got Greenland, which is the second. And if you remember Operation Iceworm, where we spoke about America trying to take that, then they was digging down underneath, and they made caverns, and they had nukes under there. They was going to put 800 nukes under the ice sheet in Greenland, just pointed at Russia. Ready. This was Cold War stuff. No one knew about this till 10 years. It was too late. But because of the ice and global warming and things shifting so much, they never could finish it. So, what's going on in Antarctica, man? Is it Nazis?
It could be happening on the other side of the world as well, like,
Shit, man.
Americans, Russians are crazy, right? Now, the funny thing about the Antarctica Treaty is, right? So remember, it's 1959, 1960, right? The Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible to Russia, USSR, and America, USA, to sign the treaty on the same time? We're in the middle of the fucking Cold War. They're signing the treaty, right? They're signing the treaty, and it just stops exploration, digging in for oil and stuff like that.
Why?
The riches of Antarctica are probably beyond our belief, right?
Yep.
And with the whatever's happening in the world now, we're getting short of this and that. It's probably there. We don't know about it because it was never. We probably estimate how much stuff is in there, but we are not allowed to explore it.
Is the World Seed Vault there?
No.
Where's that?
Which?
The World Seed Vault with all the seeds in it in case the world ends and we need.
No,
to
that's up in Norway, isn't it?
Oh, it might be somewhere with snow.
Yeah, I think that's in Norway.
So there's literally nothing in Antarctica.
Well, we know they caught COVID in Antarctica, in the base. That's the funniest thing ever. But listen, we don't
penguins.
talk about it. Yeah, it's a mad fucking coincidence. But we do know it's the Antarctic Treaty System ATS. It's regulating international relations with respect to Antarctica. It's supposed to be Earth's only continent without a native human population. And before the treaty was signed, everybody was going crazy over that. The Russians were trying to claim the shit over that. The Americans were trying to claim over that. And what we're trying to figure out of Admiral Byrd's history is that probably somebody was already there. They took over the space and says, listen, if you don't fuck up and just cop on, we're going to fuck you up big time. So then we have all this line of treaties, operations, do NASA.
You could work out there. You could do things out there. People wouldn't know, man. All you have to do is send 4 guys out there and tell them to dig a fucking hole for a bit.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's big enough to put a little room down there to a little start of a base and just expand underneath, ain't no one going to see through that.
Yeah, and it's true. Now we have theories coming out, right? So I'm gonna hit you with one before I pour my another drink, right? So what happens there is they came across either see the mention in Roswell, they mentioned the grays. All right. What if the pilots that were wearing the uniforms back in Roswell, right, were in the gray uniforms?
Maybe.
That's the question, right? Listen, we're just speculating.
It's not
right?
far apart, yeah. The time.
Yeah. So okay, so they came across advanced civilization, okay, and they thought they can take it on.
Obviously, it's a thing to do, isn't it? Secret civilization. Let's fight
Yeah.
them.
So there you go. They thought they could take it on. They didn't, and they told them, listen, the secret civilization said, listen, we know you're fucking up with the nuke bombs.
Just
You're
the
gonna
force of people. So they sent a task force to establish a base.
Aircraft.
And in this task force was 33 aircraft, 13 ships, etc. To establish a base. It's a bit fucking much, isn't it? How are 33 planes armed to the teeth going to help you? Warships. This is an exploration mission. No wonder the Russians were like, something's going on here, man.
Right. So I tell you, there was a back. If we come back to that thing, right? 6 months into expedition, is terminated. Right after the 6 months expedition is terminated after 2 months. They lost the destroyer, half of their aircraft, dozens of sailors. Okay.
Yeah, because they were battling either a secret Nazi base or some UFOs.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad weather. We've lost a destroyer.
Well, you can't do that. There's a fucking thing going on in that picture that they're trying to destroy the ice.
Yeah.
What are they shooting at?
Yeah.
Dragons?
Yeah, dragons.
Fuck, like.
Dragon comes out, just murks a fucking destroyer.
Yeah, but Admiral Byrd stands before the commission, right?
I would love to see
In
that.
the event of another war, America can be attacked by the enemy that has the ability to fly from pole to pole with incredible speed. These are apparently his words. Fuck me sideways if there's nothing going on there.
And people are still looking to it 70 years later and finding the same thing. But with proof, because now we've got satellites and shit to track that. And there was a chemtrail going from zoom, zoom. How the fuck? Yeah.
Have you seen Google Earth?
No.
Have you? Go into Google Earth now, right? Well, I'm telling you about the Antarctica 3D system, right? Go into Google Earth and go to Antarctica. And there's a little fucking thing blurred out, or there's a big white thing over that.
Yeah.
Have a look. Why? We're not going to go there. Just show us what's in there. But the question is, why are you not showing it? Listen, guys. My personal opinion is if we're running out of oil or anything like that, or fossil fuels and stuff like that, and there's a proof there's the stuff in Antarctica. If somebody told me, listen, we're just going to keep the land the way it is. If I was in charge of the world, I'd say, guys, that's okay. Keep the land intact. We're going to come up with something else. Okay? But then I would show the world, like, this is what it looks like. This is what it is. This is what Antarctica looks like. This is the last picture, right?
Yeah.
Technocrats at the moment, all this digital system, we have Google, we have Facebook, we have Amazon, we have... Google actually controls the world anyway at the moment, because with the information they're trying to, they're trying to control what you see. But the way they control our view at the Antarctica is actually a little bit bothering, because if you want to see your planet that you live on, which actually the funny thing is you pay to live on.
Literally.
So you should be able to see that, But, sure, this is the funniest thing in the world. I'm that drunk yet.
Not yet.
We can cut it out.
Look, I'm in Antarctica.
Right. Show us.
Ooh. So some people are saying, oh wow, it looks nice, man. So this is just taken from a phone on a boat. I haven't gone on the blurred images or anything. You can just have an idea of what it looks like. So, I mean, hi guys. So there's not a lot going on out there. But people were saying about the someone put like the blurred images are to do with not loading like resolution issues and shit like that. And the first comment it was how do people like you exist? Because obviously they've put it down to blurred resolution or something. It's probably some government official just like it's blurred because it's not loaded properly. But all right, like for God's sake, but yeah.
No, it's. Sorry, what can I say?
If you're all good, we can go through some comments.
Yep.
Answer some people's stuff.
Guys, if you have any questions, if you think we're wrong, if you think that our thinking goes the wrong direction, just let us know, because what we do actually dive into things, and we do spend our free time to research it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to claim. I would rather go into that thing that the Nazis. Let's go off the fence, right? My thing would be Nazi thing. It's not saying I'm a big fan of them. I'm just saying that's very possible that could have happened. Sorry, what do you think? A hollow Earth?
Yeah, the Nazi thing is very possible of a Nazi base being out there and them trying to establish. I reckon what did Hitler in the end was paranoia. So I'm feeling maybe a base out there was not too far fetched. Trying to save themselves, sort of thing. But Hollow Earth, like I've only just realised researching all this. The scientists have said we don't know what's under there. We can only go 8 miles down. What the fuck is the rest of the way? I was like, it's basically an educated guess that there is magma and heat down there. Okay, what's under that? What's above that? What's in between that? Yeah, you've got Earth's crust and shit. Like, so I was watching into it and I got into volcanoes and shit like that. And like a volcano went off recently and it puts this thin layer of sulfur into the atmosphere, which actually cools the Earth down. Yeah. And it's good for us actually. But I went deep. I started with this Antarctica periscope stuff and then I ended up on. I was like, whoa, shit.
Did you enjoy it though?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Like I said, I started watching it, and there was Huskies working, there was blokes working that were digging a ship out. They buried their first plane, the first plane that went to South Pole and blah blah blah. They buried it because they couldn't take it back or something like that, and all this other stuff, which is great. But it's good that they could actually go out there and film this sort of thing. But
I do admire everybody that actually took upon themselves to explore the Antarctica. Come on, it can get down to minus 70 degrees.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
So, listen, fair fucks them, like.
So let's go into this.
Right. Okay. I hope we can answer every comment there that you have.
First,
we can.
Is first. I'm gonna drag this across. Let's have a look at us.
Right. Where was it?
So, May 29th, nearly a year.
Jesus, we're that old.
10 months ago-ish. Not too much difference. You look about 10 years younger there, Mayhem. You do. But 132 likes. We have literally 0 dislikes, thanks to YouTube. Thank you very much.
Dislike as much as you can.
Fuck yeah, but I guarantee we have dislikes. I'm just not sure how many unless I actually click on it. So new channel just up, podcast live. I actually sponsored us in here 7 days ago. 7 months ago, we did an actual Q&A where we actually responded up to comments, but we get comments on this all the time. We actually have 13,265 views on here.
Thank you guys. I do appreciate it.
Which is sick. So first comment, which has 28 likes itself, YouTube has apparently scrubbed a lot of the conspiracy theories about Byrd's personal accounts into Hollow Earth opening. And then, have they? Interesting, because like this is the first time we did it and uploaded it, so none of us expected this sort of response. Yep, the videos disappeared. These are just people confirming now. I was just trying to send them to a friend, and they've all gone. So
guys, they're on BitChute.
Yep.
All the interviews or the old Periscope movies, the size mentioned, everything that you want to see, it's still available on BitChute.
Yeah, you can actually watch them on YouTube as well, the Periscope ones.
Yeah, and there are very good channels that actually I do recommend. You know, actually, Mark Sargent, one of the flat earthers, is talking about the Antarctic as well. So we're not flat earthers. Sorry.
Yeah, we will.
It's not the case for me.
I
Sorry.
would say a part 2, but the stuff we got on that.
No.
So, people confirming, my daughter and I would search up a lot of these conspiracy stories. UFOs, reptilians, can't find any of the old ones that we had seen before anymore. So do you reckon, you know...
You remember the Admiral Byrd actually mentioned about something about the Blue Man there. I was watching one of the videos there, and there is a mention of the Blue Man approaching him. But then he says the blonde hair. And then he mentions the Nordic German accent.
Oh shit.
I don't know. It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a weird combo.
It's like something was basically, you know, just somebody took up the hole, put the black box in it, you know, and then covered up with the ground, and the whole timeline just happened after that.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, this story definitely gets censored. I hate what YouTube's become, so it's that sort of ban / shadow ban /
That's another story, guys. That's just another story.
Getting rid of something completely off YouTube. Maybe they've contacted the people directly and said, "Can you remove this? It's against something," and they've gone, "Boom, removed it."
Well, if you know there are channels just being removed for just because they're removed.
Yeah.
If you watch for example, Tinfoil Hat. It's Sam Tripoli's podcast. You know, he invites people over, and the people actually talk. He listens, and he takes in and he asks questions. It's something similar like Joe Rogan, but he actually goes really, really, really into conspiracy theories. We have people talking about reptilians. We have people talking about Illuminatis and stuff. So on. So he goes.
I've found the more we go through our own podcast, the more I know generally about everything. So starting from our first one where we don't know anything, and we only know our own research. But as you go on, previous research pops up in later ones, and everything's linked. Every time we've done a Cold War one, it's like that leads to this, to leads to this, to leads to that. I'm like, we've actually spoke about this, and that spoke to, and everything's connected. And it's all government conspiracies, and it's just like, boy, you could get into this shit.
I think we had a chance to get a big cut off it just before the JFK was assassinated.
JFK was a real good one. That was just me and you as well, yeah.
I think if JFK wasn't assassinated, we would have been living in a way different world.
And the reason we did that is because new stuff keeps popping up all the time, and I think they managed to... There was a new program someone made where they could actually get the bullet trajectories from using fucking modern technology and programs, and they could actually, new evidence was appearing, which is
all the bullet coming out from the very bottom of the.
Yeah, all that stuff. But JFK again, we could do some more stuff on that because that's sick as well. But this guy as well. We're still on the first comment, by the way. These are just replies to the first comment.
7 months ago, like.
Yeah, I would have saved them. I had them saved and liked on my YouTube account. All the videos have gotten deleted. It's a shame. Did you hear what happened to Richard Byrd's son?
Exactly.
And now he died.
Yeah, it's like Admiral Byrd was silenced, and the Richard Byrd's son died. I haven't gone that far because, guys, I was
put that into part 2, maybe.
I went. It's like I love the story. Okay, I've been reading the books. There's a book. There's a novel, Secret Machines with a K in it. You can read. You can actually download it from the WikiLeaks. And I've been going to the stuff, and the actually death of Admiral Byrd's son came out last, and then hit me like says, okay, does that prove that whatever he had to say is true? But Sai is looking it up. We do actually miss Broomy, don't we?
Sometimes.
Broomy would be like, yep, I'm going to go at it. I'm going to look at it. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, that's the thing, because now we're like sidetracked. So we like, and there's only 2 of us today. There's usually 4. We haven't had roll in a podcast of the whole of 2022. We're now in February. So we are thinning the ranks, but Beeb, it's a bit too much for Beeb, I think, at the minute. Me and you have been into it, balls into this particular one anyway. and Beeb didn't do anything. You know, Beeb would just usually, oh, we're doing serial killers, and she'll pop in and be like, rudest object to kill a man was this 18-foot dildo from Japan in the 1820s, and you know, we'll have a laugh with it. She's like the funny at the end. But this one, this is just so deep, and she's just like, I haven't done anything. What do I do? And I was like, have you done the diary, mayhem? Yeah. Have you done the UFO mayhem? Yeah. Have you done? You didn't leave really. I've got 50 pages. What's Beeb gonna do?
I haven't gone through them because the Nazis in Antarctica. We can do the whole new podcast about it.
Legit, yeah.
We can come back about
I
it.
love
and
World War
just
II
chat.
stuff, and that I will go straight into it. Yeah. Let's have a couple of these comments then, because we've got a couple of weird ones, man.
We can make it a long podcast. Don't worry about that.
All right, sick. So Richard Byrd's son, so Byrd Jr., son of the polar explorer, died of malnutrition and dehydration brought on by Alzheimer's disease. The state medical examiner said Thursday the body of Mr. Byrd, 68 years old, was found October 3rd in Baltimore warehouse.
Why in warehouse?
I'm not sure, and I don't know why this is weird, but 68, Alzheimer's.
Come on now,
apparently,
you live in a warehouse.
There is actually a coroner's report you can look at and stuff like that.
We're gonna dive into it, aren't we?
But yeah, this is, if we're doing a part 2 to this, like many others that need a revisit. We did Bigfoot. I would quite like to do something else like that. The Skeptics versus Believers was actually our second best podcast, so.
From all the things I have, don't have a pen on me now. Watch this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we ended up doing the Loch Ness and things like that as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, write down. Yeah, Admiral Byrd's son. There's death of Admiral Byrd's son explained by coroner at the New York Times. Okay, so I don't know if that's a trustworthy source.
No, it's going to happen, guys, because we're going to dive into it. It's not going to be as long as today's one, but.
So.
Let's go. Guys, I do love this. I do love interaction. So ask us questions, and if I'm wrong on size wrong, just tell us.
We're trying to build up this podcast from scratch, and it's working. The highlights in the podcast and the lives are doing all right, but the shorts I upload along are getting a few hundred, it makes me happy to see the numbers. So we've actually had 2,000 or 3,000 views since we've started.
He loves his numbers, doesn't he?
Yeah, I do. I need high numbers. So Richard Byrd's son, yeah, we'll get into that. This guy here, warnings everywhere, and he's linked some stuff. I haven't clicked the links just in case. And then it's because the elite sick government down want us to know the truth. Please, just like the same
want us
phone,
to know the truth, yeah.
Just like the phone comes out every year. Please wake up. You are being fucked up backwards. I'm not sure about this guy's literature, but
it could be a point because as I said at the very beginning of the podcast, we could be going into the cul-de-sac with this shit. He could have found something, but what happened after that, we will never know.
You got to think NSA, FBI, CIA, all that. The NSA, National Security Agency, have eyes all over the world. It's illegal or whatever to be like spying on people, but they can access mobile phone cameras. Boom, they can access the microphone on your phone could just activate, and they could listen to everything like you're sat on speakerphone. Like,
Did you know that, Si? That if you're a Google customer, so you have your Google phone, Android, right, or Apple phone even, because Apple goes through Google anyway. They must use them. Even the search has to go through Safari or anything. Has to go through Google.
Oh, yeah.
So what's probably happening at this stage is we have a company that listens to you and takes the notes. Even if it doesn't listen to you, it takes your kind of algorithm kind of view of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen The Colony on Netflix?
I don't want to.
You would very much like it. So,
which Colony? The movie or the series?
It's the series. It's called Colony.
I've watched. You're one from the
Lost.
Walking Dead, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's her from The Walking Dead and him from Lost with the blonde hair, whatever. So the Colony, it's just out of nowhere. Spaceships come, they drop fucking walls, boom, down on each city, whatever. It becomes a colony, but it gets well into it, and it is actually what you were just talking about then, and it is so sick. You would actually love that as well.
I've watched a couple episodes. I never got into it. You know,
it does kick off a bit, yeah. When but it's basically true. So this one here, this is Keith Hart. I'm an older, retired US veteran. Starts off quite normal, and you're like, oh, this might be interesting. Then it goes in, must tell you, you're just doing the same circles, only faster, that every generation goes through. You're just putting more from many places and conspiracies together, but never leads to much at all. The twist is they want you all thinking of outward scenarios, foregoing the self within you. That's why my older self, ... Then I put, okay, nice.
Yeah, that's very mysterious. It's not even a coded message from what's the gentleman's name?
Is Keith Hart there? So he's an old retired US Navy veteran. Nice, awesome, thanks for the service. But then straight balls deep into some tinfoil hat wearing shit, right? And then there's more there. So I was like, okay, nice. We just researched this stuff like for 2 weeks before. So it's the first we're hearing about it, but now we've had nearly a year to ponder on it, and we always talk about it, and it's the most popular one, and I'm always sharing stats, and it brings it up again. And we was like, fuck it, part 2, let's go. And then we've got this nice girl.
It's a part 3 going probably after this.
Legit now, because we found some more stuff just up on ourselves to look into. So what we'll do in part 3, we'll have a 10-minute. I'll probably play that video or make a whole new video. It will do a recap. I could go through both of the videos, and I could take 10 seconds of the important stuff, and we could have a 3-minute video at the start that explains everything. Okay, this girl, Amy Jo, God loves you or whatever. She's quite interesting. She's got her own chat as well, or podcast going, and I've actually been private messaging her on Twitter about this sort of stuff. So,
podcast, Amy.
So it's more than self, it's spiritual, every bit of it, and I mean that literally. Fallen angels, demons, Nephilim, and the fact that identity and authority in God needs to be realized again, and we need to rise in it. So self, yes, but that's just that first action to the journey. Within self is spirit, soul, and Jesus. So, blah, blah, that is a good thing. So we're going to have different takes in it. So we've got an army veterans take on it, we've got some general guys taking it, we've got this, she is like Christian to the core, giving her opinion, so she's obviously believes in God and everything like that, and she's coming across to us conspiracy theorists, etc. I think that'll be a good back and forth, because she'll have an explanation for everything, and we get to debate with that. So obviously she seems understanding and stuff, and she said to me as well in a private message that it's stuff has been disappearing, and she was interested in this, and she was even saying herself in here. I'll talk to her down later on. Do you guys have any more of these, or just gaming videos? Then as a reply from me, we have about 40, and I sent the link. Thank you guys, I'm in the States. It was really interesting hearing your perspective. I'm not offended when I hear views. I think the only one in the comments that wasn't about what's up here. I also do a broadcast trying to wake up people, which caught me. And it's good to hear, blah, blah. I've tried to respond a few times. Are you guys getting them? So I didn't have anything between there and there, so I'm not sure where they went. But I ended up.
Amy,
yeah,
we're here. We can contact, and then the contact links are actually, we have a Twitter page.
I do, and if you look on the YouTube as well, there's the email in there as well, so you can contact us. So
there's one thing I've noticed actually. There was a Book of Enoch coming into whenever I was researching Admiral Byrd. There was I've a couple of times come out of, there was that kind of insertion of Book of Enoch into it. So maybe that's another thing we can look into.
Oh, easy. Yeah, we could take everyone's points of views. But again, if this one kicks up and we can go through the comments, we can do a Q&A. We did a Q&A before. It was a 15-minute video. It's good to back and forth. This is what we want from these sort of things, because at the minute we're just, saying stuff and then no one's on the other side. But this one obviously kicked off and people are saying stuff. So lots of oil in Antarctica. Clever to say aliens, inverted, and Nazis were, you're really laying claim to huge oil fields unclaimed by other nations. Going back to what you said with the treaties there, Mayhem, probably.
But remember, China is in the treaty as well.
So no one can access the oil
fields. We have 12 starting up nations signed up the treaty, and then we have another 200 other nations. It's 147.
So who's not in the treaty that can just go over there and start digging for oil?
No, they can't. They can't, because they can't pass over that treaty. They'll probably shut straight away.
Okay, yeah. So plenty of untapped
they
resources.
have access for the academical research. That's what it is.
And then we got Matt Rosish. Even in the official report, he quoted on record saying that we should put military troops by South Pole. It would be in our best interest. It all started after we dropped the first atomic bomb. That supposedly triggered them wanting to talk to Byrd.
Yes, I agree. From our research what we've done so far, that's what it goes into it. Because then we have 1947, the atomic bomb was dropped in
basically,
1945.
We do to the South Pole, that'll be in breach of a treaty, though.
Well, we can't have any explosions, but there were some.
We can, if we place, we're doing what basically Putin is doing to Ukraine now. We are just putting troops on the border. And if anyone,
that's it. Yeah, they're going to say fuck off, like leave us alone.
Yeah, so if we put troops on the border, they're going to go, hold up, there's loads of oil and things there. Why do you get to put troops on the border? And then Russia put troops on the border, and they probably work with China. So then there's 8,000 troops, 10,000 troops, and then it just escalates until everyone presses that red button, and the next world war will be fought with bows and arrows.
You know what happens there is we only have 3 minutes.
What do you mean?
That's it. If somebody presses the red button, we only have 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of defences all around just England, for example. We've just upped our nuclear arsenal from, I think, 180 to 230, so we've got 50 more, or in the process of. But we have the defences around that can shoot down stuff like that. But then also, China have just come up with this ridiculous fucking missile that goes around the world in fucking like a minute or something. So which you can't shoot. If it goes nuclear, like one country presses that red button, everybody presses theirs out of sheer panic.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
It's the fucking end. That's the Cold War scenario in Wanna.
Because all the main powers in the war have it. They can dictate the stupidest thing they can ever do.
Yeah.
Simple as.
Yeah.
You know,
it will
we're going to
rewind
press
time.
that button unless you do this and this. Okay, we'll do that. Fuck that. This is the problem.
Yeah.
Let's go. What's that?
Right, so that's the official report. How come they let him come out with this? Must be a psyop. So that's like mind game sort of op thing, telekinesis and things like. Psyops is like, scientific ops, like telekinesis is crazy psyops. So I'm not sure about that one. But there was probably 100% a division dedicated to that sort of stuff. There is divisions dedicated to everything that you don't know about. So yeah. Again, Amy. My cat.
Something's falling down our cat, isn't it?
My cat's just knocking stuff off the shelf.
Get in touch with us.
So yeah. The Phantom. Why argue with flat earthers? I think we must have mentioned it. This is a touchy subject. Why argue with flat earthers when they partially agree with you? Most just don't know. Saying flat earthers are dumb costs you respect and credibility. Why not be open to conversation without preconceived notions as you want others to reject?
Right.
Over to Mayhem.
Right. Over to me. Guys, as I do fucking believe that the Earth is round, because
I thought we'd get away with this.
Why the moon is fucking a planet, right? Why the other planets are shown to us and you can see them through a telescope are around. So why just us have to be flat?
But but NASA was put there to give us the illusion of. Do you know the guy that built his own rocket to prove the Earth was flat, and then he blew himself up at the top?
Yeah, he never made past my.
But obviously, the government made it blow up because they didn't want him to know that the Earth was flat. Right, moving on from that quickly.
Please do. I'm sorry, but it's guys, flat Earth. I know my maths. I've done calculations, and so far, so good. Fuck off.
Everybody, please feel free to mention in the comments. Journey to the Center of the Earth and the Land of the Lost also show how Hollywood mocks us. Yeah, but I mean, there's movies about fucking everything. If there's a business or money to be made, Hollywood will be all over it like a rash. Journey to the Center of the Earth, though, it was originally a book. It wasn't just Hollywood, and it was actually a pretty good book.
No, yeah, that's
and
true, yeah.
You go to the center of the Earth, and there's a whole other civilization there, and it is actually an epic film. And that's Brendan Fraser, and he turned down the second movie, was it Mysterious Lands or something? And then The Rock took it, and he was like, "Shit,
Yeah.
But he's meant to be making a comeback this year, though, Brendan, and which is pretty cool.
I like Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser's awesome, man. Mummy's so good. He's a bit overweight and balding a bit.
Yeah,
now.
he's a good actor. Like I don't know what happened to him. That he's not been, he's not acting.
He's in actually a superhero series that's on at the minute. It's on Stars, but I forgot what it was called. And he plays a robot, so it's not even himself; it's just his voice.
Oh right, no, I don't have access to that yet.
The movie where they find alien shit in Antarctica is the first Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, it's the big pyramid that they get access to.
Yeah,
and is it the same one when the man that they used body to create Bishop after that?
Yeah.
So he walks up the steps. They know the predator knows the man is sick because he's dying. He's not going to do anything to him, but yet he kills him anyway. Yeah, it's
amazing set of films.
I'm not going to say anything because I am a big fan of aliens and alien movies and predator movies, and I'm a big fan of the franchise. I don't want to connect it to anything.
Oh no, yeah, it's just
it's very possible. It's I do like the franchise. I do.
So another guy here, J Low. Nice. There's another entrance in Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. If you want to make a note of that as well, we'd have to have a look at that.
There's an entrance in Donegal in County Ireland as well.
Oh,
in
nice.
County Donegal, Ireland.
Okay,
as well,
so that's another subject we haven't really spoke about. If we can maybe get the entrances down and have a look, we could maybe Google Earth Google Earth stuff and do that. Okay, so Rolly's drooling on himself at 12 minutes 30. I swear he says mom.
That's a good one.
So pretty good. Roswell in the late 40s, around the same time as High Jump. Was it, or was it early 50s?
No, Roswell.
Or late 50s, I think. It was 50 something, wasn't it? Roswell, was it?
Keep going.
But how do we communicate? This is Amy again. Is there an official email? Blah blah blah. That's the way I think I told her about there. Roswell, 1947.
1947.
So it was late 40s.
I know because I mentioned that like an hour ago.
Yeah, I don't know why I had
I just
50s in my mind.
I just had see. Yeah, that's what it is. Your comments actually do make us question ourselves, like so we did, and then we came back to our own research, and we do.
It's dates as well. But yeah, research CERN.
Oh fuck! I don't want to.
I think I've heard this before. What is that the abbreviation
CERN.
of?
How do you know how many CERNs is there around the world?
So it's a European organisation for nuclear research. It's one of the world's largest and most respected
the big fucking thing that just goes around. Yeah.
Centres in the scientific research. Oh, it's the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah, Hadron Collider is the one that actually they're doing.
It's owned by CERN. Did you hear about the guy that stuck his head in one?
Yeah, and there's a story about the scientist that actually disappeared.
So there was a Hadron Collider in I think it was Russian, probably obviously. And they had a smaller one. It wasn't as big as Switzerland's or whatever it is. And it is millions of particles going through at the speed of light. And this guy just went, zoop, put his fucking head in it, man. He lived, and they did this test on him and shit like that. But it wasn't supposed to be on, I don't think. And he just walked through it. I think he lived for ages, but I think he got some serious cancer and shit. But
yeah, we have one in Texas.
There's a whole story behind that.
You know that.
Yeah.
You have one in it's called Diamond Light Source, is it? The one in England?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe they're on a lot smaller. I think Hadron Collider is the biggest in the world.
I think they have it.
And people are worried that we could open up a black hole and absorb this Earth. Like it's a Terminator 3. The girl is in it, and she's a cross between the liquid metal, and she's the best Terminator. Basically, she's the blonde one with the red tight suit on, and she comes after older John Connor, and she's running after him at the end, and they turn on the Hadron Collider, and she actually sticks to it, and that's what kills her. That's actually in there as well. Pretty crazy. But speaking of Terminator, Skynet, End of the World, I think we've even covered all that stuff as well.
We've done that as well, yeah.
Yeah, yep. There's still plenty we can do. The whole world is concave. Please study my channel from flat Earth to concave mathematically. Probably moving on.
And the Phantom 7 months, guys. I'm sorry. Yes, we can have that conversation, but not at the moment. You know.
So there's a couple more. Flat era RS. Don't know what it means. Probably shit. Flat Earth is legit.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Flat Earth is legit.
Guys, believe in what you want, you know.
Okay. Like, no. I think all true, but why you make a video and laugh? The Admiral goes places you poor people only dream about.
Yeah, okay, that's
yeah. Every night when I go to sleep, I cry a little and wish I was in Antarctica where there is no one and it is freezing to death.
That's okay, and then I think about all the countries I visited. You know, when I was a teenager, because
Poland, Germany twice, France twice, Ibiza, New York. I've been all over. Mayhem's done it. He's twice my. He's not twice.
The only country in Europe I haven't seen is Portugal.
Oh really?
Just let you think about it. In Europe, okay.
We got no chance nowadays.
So,
I'm waiting to go to Chernobyl. I'm going to do a whole
gonna...
documentary on Chernobyl, man. And it's going to be sick, and I can't wait. And I was literally going in 2020, just before this bullshit kicked off.
So what's this man's name? Cyprian?
Yeah, Cyprian Netchifor. He's probably a World of Warcraft character.
Cyprian, no. With all due respect, if you live in Antarctica, that's off to you. And I had my chance to travel around Europe. In the world, I've only been to the furthest I've been to was Barbados. And the other side, I went to Thailand.
I went to
for
Auschwitz
holiday purposes, right?
in Poland.
But the only country I haven't seen was Portugal, which I'd love to see. And I hope the fucking EU Democrats and fucking cunts that are going to let me see.
If you want to go to Portugal, mate, I'll meet you there.
So yeah, it's just take off your life whatever you can, guys. You know, if you just visit as much as you can, see places that you can.
I've got a massive bucket list to get through. But for podcast, that is it for that. On there.
Jesus, 20-10, man. My missus is going to kill me. No, it's been great, guys. If you have any questions,
so look at this.
This is a big one, yeah. This is what we do on the second one. And guys, if you have any questions, I don't want to go into the flat Earth research. I know Mark Surgeon did the video on the Antarctica, and he was showing the Great Barrier of Ice. Guys, to be honest, any comment helps us. So let us know what's going on. Give us your comments. Give us your points. What direction do you want to head us to? And then we're going to do our research. We have 2 weeks between every podcast to do some stuff. So
this is all the stuff before Loch Ness, high jump. We've done movie quizzes. We love having a quiz. We've had a Halloween quiz on this one actually, and a New Year quiz, and they are actually pretty good. They're on the channel. You should check them out. We've done UK Chernobyls. We've done War Stories, which was a really good one. We've done the best snipers in the world. Area 51, Hitmen, Heists. Heists was a really good one as well. And look at all these monetizations, man. But yeah. Serial Killer, the first one.
Why is it limited, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Due to content identified as not suitable for most advisors. That is
because I said fuck 2 more times, is it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Listen, guys, it's you come in the modern world. You come across your mainstream media and stuff like that, and we're just trying to sit down for so many hours.
The guy said, "Why do you do a video and laugh? You have to laugh. If you didn't laugh, we would be in a fucking padded room, headbutting the wall."
Because we don't want the fear of death to take the joy of our lives away. Simple as.
We are funny guys as well. Like literally, we're called the Gaming Pit because we play games, we play Battlefield, we shoot helicopters with rocket launchers, and we are funny. I mean, I'm mainly funny. Everyone else is pretty funny. But
Everybody
yeah. But we love it, man. We do it because we love it, and we laugh because we have fun doing it. So That's the moral of the
No,
story.
I know. At this stage, I'm kind of an outcast in gaming pin community because I don't play that much. So it is the way it is. The life takes over at some stage, and simple as. I join in at some stuff, but I'm always available for podcasts, and I'm always here.
Yeah.
So it's if it comes down
So
to podcasts,
much
it's
easier doing it every 2 weeks as well. It's such a load off.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
love
listen,
this.
guys, just to recap. Okay, the recap is we are on YouTube. Sai runs the channel, which we do hope if you subscribe and like. We are on Spreaker, Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, with Google Podcasts, with Amazon's. Jesus
Everywhere.
Christ, India, everywhere. We've actually
India's kicked
crossed
off.
the 1,000 downloads on the Spreaker statistics.
India's
so
a good
just-
audience.
Yeah,
They
so we actually have people listening in Russia. So, guys, come on, join us.
Plenty of Cold War
We
stuff for them
can-
to have a look at.
Gavari Paruski with you as well,
Yeah, no
if you
problem.
want.
So that's all the links. If I'll try, if Mayhem sends me them, I'll copy and paste them into there. Because looking up each link would probably take me a week. But yeah, that's it. Admiral Byrd, Hollow Earth. Please make it go viral.
Indeed.
We want 1,000 more comments so we can do another Q&A. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next one, guys. Peace.